Hey everybody, long time no speak. It's Barbara, and I am here with a completely fresh review. That's right, I'm going to review the Fresh Doll Squad, part of the Fresh Dolls line, created by Dr. Lisa Williams. I'm going to say a whole lot more about the line itself, but I want to get right into these reviews of these wonderful dolls, mostly because they represent finally having some African American dolls to talk about. We've certainly seen them in the Barbie Basics line, in Integrity Toys. Obviously, I'm talking about two very different price points as I'm talking about Mattel and Integrity. With Mattel, you do not get the many points of articulation that you get with these fine gentlemen. With Integrity, you get the articulation, and you also get a huge price point. So it's very exciting that for just about $20, you can get some really cool dolls, and they're dressed pretty well too. So let me back this up, and I will start to talk a little more about them. The first thing I want to say is that these guys are fully articulated, as you can see. They have several points of articulation that most male dolls do not have unless they are a much more expensive action figure. There is a joint at the ankle. There's a joint at the knee. From the hip, they can stretch out pretty far. He has a joint at the wrist with nope, it's a full 360 joint. You can move it all the way around, as you can just see me do, up and down. There is an elbow joint. There is a shoulder joint. He's well endowed. I mean, he's got some serious Shamar six-pack. I know that there are issues with nudity, so I don't want to undress him. I don't think there's a double joint in the torso. And his head, which I should probably do this again, his head can go all the way around. And part of his hair is rooted, not completely fully. And it appears that he has an elastic around it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull that elastic off. So you can, if you are a restylist, you have some top hair to play with. Let's go ahead and take a look at his face. Everything on his face is, goodness, what's the word I want? Screened on. I didn't want to say paint, because I don't think this is completely paint either. I think it is screened on. He has very full brows, no eyelashes even drawn on, brown eyes, and a soul patch. As I said, he's got this beautiful partially rooted hair on top that you can restyle. Let me see if I can get him to kneel a little bit and we can talk. He did not come with the stand, as you've probably figured out. So this is why I'm just very quickly showing you him without the stand. And I'm also sorry, guys, that we don't have, one of my lights died. So I'm working here with some rough lighting. But I do want to tell you that in terms of shirts, t-shirts, or just, the average white tee that comes with dolls and figures, this is actually a higher quality than I had seen so far. It's a stretch cotton. It's got some give to it for undressing. Not that you have to be terribly worried about it. It comes off in the back with Velcro. But the Velcro, as you'll see in a second, is very nicely put on the shirt. The jacket is, you know, your standard camo, but it's nice because there's a little bit of lining to it. And as I said in the back, it does come off with Velcro, but somehow the way that it's applied to the shirt, possibly because this is a thicker cotton, the Velcro isn't as obnoxious as it sometimes appears on Playline dolls. And the trousers also close in the back with Velcro. But again, it's not cheap Velcro, and I've seen worse jobs putting Velcro on trousers on much higher price point figures. He's in olive green trousers, as you can see. And they're full length, but they're also tucked into his boot. The boot has molded, it's all molded plastic, but the molding kind of implies that the back of the boot would have a fur trim, which it really doesn't. But what it does have, which I like a lot, is the split. So it's very easy to simply get the boot off. Watch this. It's so easy. She's gonna kill him. No, that was actually not too bad. Here's his foot. There are toes present. And so far, no staining on the foot, which is always a plus. And as I said, at the ankle, the joint for posing. So this is a success. He's very, for $19.99, considering what Mattel usually does, this ain't bad. This is not bad at all. So I'm very happy with him. The next doll is not going to have any hair to speak of because he was meant to be bald. His screening, he's again fully screened. Same shade of brown eyes. A fuller beard. And he is bald. He's working the bald look. No visible seams on the top of his head, so it's a clean bald head. It's not, there's no seaming, so if you wanted to put a wig on him with a wig cap, I think that would be easy to do. He's obviously in a red jacket, which does not close. It does not even pretend to close. The seaming around the collar, I don't know why it's bothering me. Honestly, I don't. There's just something off about it that's kind of bothering me. The jacket is not lined, as you can see. But he is also wearing a very interesting top, which has some detailing to it printed. I thought this was a double layer. It's not. The detailing is in the top layer of the shirt. But it's meant to have a pattern. And he is starting, and he's wearing your typical black trousers. But again, it's a much like the green trousers, it's a better quality cotton. And how it closes in the back is again a bit neater than you would see otherwise. And he is wearing, I guess these are supposed to be Oxfords. They're very nice. For molded plastic, these are definitely better than the ones I've seen again on some action figures at a much higher price point. So these are all the positives. And this is why ultimately I'd like this to stand as a good review of this product. but there are also some negatives that have to be talked about. So I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to move him forward a little bit, and we will talk about these problems. I wanted to pause for a second and just take a beat and reframe what we've been talking about. Fresh Dolls, in particular, Fresh Squad, is very new. Even though the parent company, EPI, has been around for many, many years, since 2003. Fresh Dolls started in 2017. So we're talking about a company that is less than 2 years old, or at least this division of the bigger company is less than 2 years old. That is Dr. Lisa Williamson, from her earlier work of making smaller dolls and baby dolls, already has a working relationship with Walmart. Hold that thought. So she has been able to partner very quickly with large brick and mortar stores to put her product on the shelves. Which brings us to potentially a problem. If you can see this, this doll, when I got it shipped, the packaging was pretty messed up. And it was pretty messed up for all three of them. I left one in the packaging because I wanted to show you what the problem was, but without doing overkill. When I received these 3 dolls, they came in the kind of plastic bag that you usually would see a bunch of clothing come in. So I was very surprised that was actually the outer container, and I thought, well, okay, obviously there's got to be a shipper, and they just took the 3 shippers, put them together, and instead of putting them in a larger cardboard box, they put them in the plastic bag. Not my move, but as long as there's a shipper, these would still be okay. There was no shipper. There was a very small sheet of bubble wrap wrapped around each of the packages, which led to the package getting messed up. And at the same time as I saw this, I do what I usually do. When something's not right with a doll product that I get, I check out social media, I go to my dealers, I see, am I, unfortunately, a rare case that I just got the Bozo prize, or is there something really going on? And in this case, as soon as I went on social media, I saw there were a lot of people who were still waiting for their dolls, who had pre-ordered them earlier in the spring of 2018 than I had, who still had not gotten any product. I also saw that there were people who had gotten their product and their packaging was just as messed up. I got my dolls in the middle of November. And then just because of life and work, I haven't really been able to do this review. I also wanted to give time to Fresh Dolls EPI to respond, not necessarily directly to me, but to the general problem. And other than to say that they were speaking to their warehouse, there has been no response. So I'm going to go ahead and start to remove the 3rd doll. Yes, he has a name. I don't go with the names. I rename my dolls after much thought and meditation. I wanted to see what Fresh Dolls was going to say. And as I said, their response was, well, we've talked to the warehouse. And then there were social media posts from Dr. Lisa, who then explains who the warehouse is. Despite the fact that this company, EPI, has been around since 2003, it is still very much a mom store. I won't even say mom and pop because I don't think there's a pop involved. It's Dr. Lisa Williamson and her family. And Dr. Lisa, I'm not sure if I was speaking to her or one of her family members, but they said they talked to the warehouse, and then Dr. Lisa did a live stream on Instagram or two. And she mentioned that they knew they were having problems with the warehouse, that they were going to speak to the warehouse, and they were going to try to make things better. The problem is, the warehouse, at least until the end of November 2018, the warehouse was her home. And her friends and her family very graciously helping to pack things up, which kind of explains if they were fronting the cost of their own bubble wrap, etc., why it was probably not the best packing job in the world. These were not people trained by our friends at the UPS store to do a good job. So I'm just taking him down so I can show you the very loveliness of his hair. Each one of these strands do appear to be a legit micro braid. I am not crazy enough to try and undo them, but this is definitely fully rooted hair. They've even got the rooting here on top to cover what this is. So this is a very solid, very nicely done piece of hair. And again, let's say this is a company that is much, much smaller than Mattel, much smaller than Tonner, and they've just hit it out of the ballpark with really good hair. His screening, again, it's completely screening. There's nothing applied. He's got the goatee and the mustache, some nice brown eyes. Stand him up. He's in blue jeans. The jeans feel like jeans, not particularly soft jeans, but they feel like jeans. Faux fly in the front. It's going to close in Velcro in the back. But again, the white t-shirt is a much nicer, thicker, better quality cotton. The shirt looks to be flannel, but isn't. It's also cotton, but this is lined. So this is a very nice job here. And again, the price point's the same. We're talking about a $19.99 figure that, or doll, whichever word you want to use. And I guess this is a really good chance to show you all the articulation again and the arms. I mean, really, really well done here for a product that is going to market and is meant to go alongside not necessarily Integrity Toys, although I think they would probably look pretty smashing together, but not bad, all things considered. $20 a piece, really nicely done. And these do come with accessories. He does come with a jacket, which I will unclip in a second. He also comes with a computer and sunglasses and a huge iPhone. One of those iPhones that you're like, why are you bothering with a phone? They happen to basically all come with the same accessories, so I'm just going to take out one pair of sunglasses and one phone and one computer to show you. Because really, the future's so bright, you just gotta wear shades. I don't know. These are the shades. Not bad. Not Silkstone quality, not Integrity quality, but having held Playline Mattel, much sturdier than Playline Mattel. This is the laptop it comes with. All the guys got one. It says fresh on the top. Open it up. There's the screensaver. There's the keypad. Again, decent. $20. You get a couple of really cool accessories. Here's the phone. And this brings me back to the original problem, which is, again, you have a really nice product once you get to it, but getting to it is, you pre-order something in March, it comes in November. They don't seem overly concerned that the first few waves of shipping for Fresh Squad were not very well done at all. And they put Fresh Squad dolls in the marketplace at Walmart. And this is before everybody who pre-ordered Fresh Squad got theirs at home. I can see where people would be pissed about that. I get that you don't want to mess with the almighty Walmart, and if they tell you and you are not a Mattel and you are not a Hasbro, that they want something on their shelves, you give it to them. But at the same time, you also have to be respectful of the people who forked out $60 for the 3 dolls to pre-order. And you have to find a way to take care of them too, that they're not feeling like chumps, that they went ahead and pre-ordered from you when they could have just waited and gone to their local Walmart or whatever and picked it up. Speaking of, something else to make note of. There was an expo. I'm not sure what kind of expo it was, but there was an expo the first weekend of December, 2018. And I'm making a point of adding the dates because I'm never sure when people are actually going to watch this, so me saying this past weekend is not helpful. The first weekend of December, Dr. Lisa Williamson attended an expo, and she had product to sell. And again, if you happen to know that this expo was happening, you could have gone there, you could have gotten the dolls instead of waiting at home for it. And again, I get why people are upset. $20 when you're used to collecting Integrity toys, $20 is like, yeah, I wish we had $20 dolls again, which we never had. But on the other hand, I can also see, I can see where people are like, I pre-ordered these dolls, I should have them. I get that. But I can also see where Dr. Lisa might be concerned about keeping Walmart happy. I guess what I'm trying to say is, think about it like walking. Fresh dolls steps forward with the left foot, it's a solid step. They step forward with the right and they stumble. They steady themselves with the left, they stumble again with the right. Rinse and repeat. They get something right, they put out a really nice product, but their customer service needs to come up. It needs to come up a notch or two. Getting the warehouse was the right move. But then again, since she's been in business since 2003 and has been working with Walmart for that amount of time, she should have known that, and she should have maybe reached out to getting a warehouse as soon as she saw that she was going to have a lot of pre-orders for these guys. I think she should have done that. Why she didn't is not something she's addressed yet, but then again, nobody's put that question to her directly. Supposedly, there's a phone number you can call, and you're supposed to ask to speak to a vice president, and one of the vice presidents will speak to you. But there's a feeling that they should be reaching out to us more, and I kind of agree with that too. Instead of just saying, yeah, the products are coming, yes, I'm traveling, yes, we're trying to deal with it. Explain to us how we got to this place in the first place. Why did you not know you were going to have this kind of problem? Had you had nothing to compare it to before? Anyway, so what am I going to tell you about this? Well, the last thing I'm going to tell you is I just put the jacket on him, as you can see. And again, jacket's nice. Kind of lined, kind of isn't lined. Depends on the material, but it's a nice jacket. It's like a baseball jacket material. So it's a nice layered look for him. Very easy to put on. You saw that I didn't have to remove his hand or anything to do it. It slipped right on very easily. It's a nice jacket. It's a nice look. I'm not sure if it's because I pre-ordered these guys in general, or because I ordered directly from the company as opposed to ordering from the Walmart website. I did get this nice sheet of stickers or cardstock that you could then put on. For example, if you have a 1/6 scale TV, you could put that on the TV. You have magazine covers, you have a passport, you have family photos, you have a school ID, and you could just, you can decorate your room or your 1/6 scale room with these. So the product itself, once you can get your hands on it, it's completely awesome, and I really like it. What I don't like is the weight, and I do agree that EPI Fresh Dolls could be doing a better job talking to us about what's going on, and I think they could have been a lot more proactive in knowing that if you're going to send out product on what's called a bubble or blister pack, that it's going to need to be wrapped up in a much more secure fashion than just one piece of bubble wrap. That it probably, since it did include accessories, should have come with the shipper and should have been shipped in something other than the kind of plastic bag you use to ship your mail order clothes. Do you get Fresh Dolls? You absolutely 1000% do. If you live near a Walmart, and I realize 99% of America does, I'm in the 1%, which is New York City, that has actually blocked Walmart from coming in. Union reasons, and they're good union reasons. If you can get to a Walmart, get them. If they're supposedly going to come up on Amazon, I would definitely wait till it says product in stock. I would not pre-order from Amazon, because pre-ordering with Fresh Dolls means you will be waiting several weeks to several months for them. So I would say get them from places where you know that they are already in stock, so you do not have to wait. And I would say absolutely at the $20 price point, these are fantastic. And I will also say that, much like Measy, which I've talked to you about before in a previous review, they are learning. And they're learning hard lessons that I think they probably should not have had to learn if they had used a little more imagination and realized what happens in shipping. But they are learning. And I think the next time they do a pre-order, or they're going to put out a big wave, it will be different. And I'm going to give them the benefit of that doubt. And most of all, and I will admit this, as a fellow academic, I want to give Dr. Lisa Williamson every chance in the world, because there are not enough of us out there proactively taking what we teach in the classroom and bringing it to the marketplace, period, but bringing it to the marketplace, to a forum that is more expansive than just the collegiate classroom. So, for the Fresh Squad, for me, Barbara, I will see everybody next time in my next review. It will not be this long of a break again. It will be sooner. I'm not sure what it's going to be this time. It might be the new Measy clothes. It might be something else. But until then, guys, I look forward to seeing you. And please, I'm not going to do the whole subscribe to me, blah, blah, blah. But really, if you are someone who has Fresh Dolls and has the Fresh Squad, please talk to me about it in the comments below. I'd like to know what your experiences are with the company too. All right, guys, take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.